Alright, sit back, relax, because this story doesn't start small. It starts with the world literally ending, like no warning and no build up. One day, giant towers just appear in the middle of cities. I'm talking skyscraper sized, punching through the clouds, buildings collapsing, streets destroyed, sirens everywhere, news screens calling it straight up the apocalypse. And before anyone can even process what's happening, a message shows up in the sky, like the world just turned into a game. It said, if you wish to stop the fall of humanity, accept the tower's call. Yeah, that's not creepy at all. So basically, enter the tower or humanity dies. Those who had the strength, or maybe just the guts, accept it. Warriors, fighters, survivors, they band together and start climbing. People start calling them tower walkers. Sounds cool, right? But really, they're just humans being thrown into hell. And we cut straight into one of their raids. Monsters everywhere, demon beasts swarming like ants, and in the middle of all that chaos, there's this one guy. Black hair, cold eyes, crazy aura. He's cutting through monsters like it's nothing. Like bro's built different. Him and his squad are moving clean and professional. You can tell they've been doing this for years. And suddenly, a reward drops. An item, a blue stone. And when they read it, everything changes. It's called a regression stone. Crack it, and you go back in time. All the way to when you first entered the tower, but you do keep your memories. Basically, a reset button for your life, a second chance. Fix your mistakes, undo deaths, you can start over stronger. In a moment that sinks in, one of the guys just grabs it, doesn't even hesitate. Stone glows, flash of blue light, and then he's gone. Just like that. Man really said, I'm out. And that's when it hits everyone. Up until now, their only choices were climb or die. But now, there's a third option. Run, go back, escape the nightmare. So when the next wave of monsters hits and things start going bad, people start panicking. One by one, stones start cracking. Flash. Gone. Whole team disappearing. Not dying, not fighting, just quitting. Until only two guys are left. Black hair dude and his last teammate. They're just watching everyone dip. And black hair guy sighs like, there they go again. Not even mad, just disappointed. Like he's seen this 100 times. Because apparently, this keeps happening. Every time things get tough, people reset, start over, run away. Then we get this crazy montage. Him just absolutely slaughtering monsters, moving forward alone, climbing higher and higher like he's chasing something. Then he calls out to his teammate, let's go Jaehwan, but no answer. He turns and Jaehwan's leaning against a pillar, holding a regression stone, already cracked, and you can see it on his face. He's leaving too. He says sorry to Jaehwan, and Jaehwan just freezes, because now he's about to be completely alone. And he asks the real question nobody else did. What happens to the present if everyone just goes back? Like if everyone keeps resetting, who's actually gonna save the world? Nobody has an answer. Then this massive gate opens above them, light pouring out, it's floor 99, and a voice basically says, no human has ever made it this far alone. This is the limit. This is where you quit. And Jaehwan just looks at the return stone in his hand, looks at the gate, and goes, I won't do it. No reset, no second chance, and no running. I'm climbing alone. And right in front of him, this gigantic blue beast appears, massive, covered in crystal-like armor, final boss energy. And this man just grips his sword, eyes dead serious, like he's about to fight the world itself. Then we cut to this black tiger-looking monster, watching everything from the shadows. And it says something wild. We'll be harvesting quite a valuable product this time. Like Jaehwan isn't a person, like he's prey, or an experiment. And that's where it ends. Everyone else chose to go back, but this dude, he's the only one who said, nah, I'm going forward. So after seeing the future and all that tower madness, we cut to something super normal, like weirdly normal. Bright daytime, birds chilling on power lines, quiet street, peaceful, and we see Jaehwan just standing at a convenience store trying to buy chips. No monsters, no apocalypse, no ore farming, just bro trying to get snacks. But then he grabs a bag and it's already open. Chips spilled everywhere, and this little girl nearby just stares at him like, are you a thief? She's like, did you eat those? I'd like those chips too. And Jaehwan's just awkwardly picking them up like, no, it's not like that. It's such a random normal moment, which makes what happens next feel even crazier. Suddenly, breaking news. Everyone's phones and screens light up. Earthquake near Seoul. Small, but getting stronger. Seismologists warning people to evacuate. Jaehwan's expression changes immediately, like he knows something's off. So he steps outside to check, and then the ground starts cracking. People are screaming, buildings shaking, and something starts coming out of the earth. At first, it looks like smoke or dust. Then you realize it's growing, like a tree. Except it's not a tree. It's a tower. A massive, long, endless tower, just forcing his way up through the city, crushing streets, splitting buildings. Jaehwan immediately grabs that little girl and shields her from falling debris. No hesitation, just instinct. Then the tower fully rises, and everyone just stands there staring like, what the hell is that? But here's the scary part. It's not just Seoul. It's in England, Japan, and all the major cities all over the world. Same thing. Towers popping everywhere. People start calling them nightmare towers. And then a message appeared in front of people. Clear as day. You have been selected to become a tower walker and save the world. Accept or refuse. Like bro, Who programmed reality? Before anyone even processes it, ding, accept, and flash. Jaehwan and everyone who accepted gets teleported inside. Just gone. Next second, they're standing inside this giant stone chamber, and an interface pops up. Weapons, skills, items, like a game, except nobody's smiling because you can feel it. This isn't a game. Then another message appears. In a moment, you will witness a tower impact. Cut to outside of the tower, construction workers are checking it out. Some weird humanoid figure walks out. They're yelling at it like, hey, get down, it's dangerous. Then boom, that person turned out to be a demon that came out of the tower. And suddenly, hundreds of goblins came out of the tower. Now they are swarming the city. Sirens, explosions, people running, military tanks firing, and it doesn't matter. Nothing works. Monsters just keep coming. Different shapes, different sizes, flying, crawling, huge ones. It's a massacre. Cities just get erased. And we're told something insane. A third of the world's population, they're gone. Just like that. And the worst part, the people inside the tower can only watch. They can't help, they can't leave. All they get is the same message repeating, do you wish to save the world? So eventually everyone's like, okay fine, let's climb. If we beat the tower, maybe this stops. So now these regular people with random powers are suddenly humanity's last hope. They start fighting, climbing, barely surviving, then they hit a blocked path. A huge stone wall. Nobody can get through. Everyone arguing. And then, boom, some giant spiked wrecking ball smashes it open. And inside the rubble, they find something glowing. Another item, a regression stone. Crack it, and you go back to when you first entered the tower. Memories intact. Basically a redo button. Second chance at life. And their leader in Jaehwan is like, I'll test it, and then he cracks it. Flash, gone, just disappears. Everyone's confused. Will he come back? And this glasses dude, a former science teacher, starts explaining multiverse theories and timelines and parallel worlds. Basically saying, if you use it, you don't come back. You just abandon this world. You start over somewhere else. And this timeline, we're still doomed. Everyone just stands there like, so we're screwed either way. And then another tower impact happens outside. Red sky, blood-colored lightning, even more monsters flooding out. Way worse than before. People dying again, and now the walkers have a choice. Go back in time, or stay here and probably die. And one by one, stones start cracking. Flash, gone. People are giving up now. They're running. They're resetting until this one red-haired dude gets cornered by a giant monster and he's about to die. Then suddenly, slash, blood everywhere, monsters dropping, and someone saved him. A blonde guy, calm, strong, different. It's Jaehwan. He helps him and just says, hope rests with the ones who didn't run. And he holds up their regression stone but doesn't use it. They choose to stay, fight, and right now in the present, the day was seized, even if it kills them. And that's where the chapter ends. Normal world's gone. Humanity's collapsing. Most people are already quitting, and only a handful are crazy enough to keep climbing, which honestly feels like a bad decision, but also kinda badass. Alright, so now we cut back to the present. And yeah, things are not looking good. Jaehwan's on the ground, barely breathing. Jaehwan's covered in blood, huffing, exhausted. Both of them look like they're one hit away from dying. And Jaehwan's just staring ahead thinking, where did it all go wrong? And then we rewind back to when things were actually going well. Back when they still had hope. We see the squad mid-fight. This weird monster with that big frisbee looking hat charging at them. And Jaehwan's yelling, Jaehwan, now! Both of them rush it together. Clean teamwork. Then slice. His head is gone. Body drops. Easy. They start checking everyone. There's no casualties. The injured will recover. Everyone's smiling. The vibe's actually good. Like for the first time it feels like they might actually beat this tower. And out of nowhere, loot drops. A sword. Not just any sword. This thing's called Worm's Bane. Sharpened for 1,000 days and nights. Made to kill a dragon. Sun and moon energy and all that crazy fantasy stuff. Basically a legendary weapon. Jaehwan picks it up and you can see it on his face. He's excited. Like, yo, we might really make it to the last floor. And for a while, everything just flows. They're winning fights, healing each other, joking around, and actually looking like a team. But then, they hit the 98th floor, and everything changes. This place is literally called the Chamber of Hellfire, which already sounds like bad news. And in the middle of the floor, there's this giant rock monster. Massive, built like a mountain, face shaped like a human skull, horns sticking out like a spear. And this thing is on a different level. It doesn't even feel like a fight. It's like a massacre. Teammates dropping left and right, people getting slammed into walls. Jaehwan gets hit so hard he can barely stand. He's lying there staring at the ceiling like, was this all for nothing? All those years climbing together just to die like this? And we get these quick flashes of memories. Him laughing with the squad. They're eating together, enjoying their time together. Jaehwan's smiling like always. Then snap, he's back to reality. Monster about to finish him. Jaehwan's eyes starts closing. He's giving up. And right when it's about to crush him, Whoosh! Jaehwan jumps in, blocks it, drags him out. Snap out of it, Jaehwan. Man's still fighting even though he's just as tired. Swinging like crazy, but he can't beat it alone. And then, stab. The horn goes straight through him. Clean. Jaehwan drops, and Jaehwan just screams his name. Something in him breaks. He grabs his sword and goes full tunnel vision. Then he notices something weird. A small glow on the monster's body, like a weak point. And without thinking, he dashes straight through the attacks. One clean strike. Boom. Monster collapses. Done. Silence. Jaehwan's just standing there shaking. We did it. Then he turns. Let's go, Jaehwan. But Jaehwan's not moving. He's sitting against a pillar, holding the regression stone, and then it's cracked. No glow. Broken. Meaning he can't go back. For the first time ever, a smiling knight isn't smiling. That dude who was always positive, always joking, always saying we got this, now he just looks tired. He looks empty. And he quietly says, I'm sorry, Jaehwan. That hits harder than any monster. And Jaehwan just says something crazy. Just go. Get out of here before you change your mind. Like he already accepted losing him. Then Jaehwan looks at the broken stone and whispers, guess this thing really is useless. So instead of resetting, instead of escaping, he stands up, walks to the balcony, bleeding, barely able to move, thinking to himself, if anyone can reach this top, it's you, Jaehwan. I'm glad this world has you. And then he jumps. No dramatic speech, no explosion, just gone. And Jaehwan is on his way to the 99th floor all alone. And he just stands there quiet at the gate, waiting to enter. Because there's only one thing left to do, and it's to keep climbing. He pushes the door open. Huge gust of wind hits. Cold air, snow everywhere. And he just mutters, is this snow? Like he just stepped into a whole different world. And the vibe, completely different. It straight up looks like Antarctica. And Jaehwan's just running through it all alone, panting, breath fogging up, dragging himself forward like he hasn't slept in days. Then, boom, this giant ice beast drops in front of him. Huge, dragon looking, covered in frost, and it talks. Yeah, it literally talks. Have you finally given up, you little rat? And Jaehwan, tired as hell, still smirks like, of course not. What about you? Getting tired of playing with him. Man's trash talking a dragon while half dead. That's wild. But let's be real, he's struggling. He dodges a few attacks, barely, slides behind cover, hides. His right arm is basically frozen solid from the damage. Dude's pouring some potion on it just to move his fingers again. And he's thinking to himself, I've been stuck on this floor for literally 10 years all alone. And this isn't some random monster either. This thing's name pops up. Frostworm Velcasus, guardian of the 99th floor, a literal dragon. Cold resistance maxed out, and even then, his breath almost kills you. Jaehwan straight up admits it. If I didn't use all the gear other walkers left behind, I'd be dead already. So this whole time, he's surviving off of the stuff that his dead teammates dropped. There's an armor that Jaehwan gave him, and a bracelet called the Fire King's bracelet. Old relics from people who didn't make it. That's kind of sad when you think about it. He's basically carrying ghosts with him. Then we get this quiet flashback. A girl appears, someone who gave him that bracelet, and he just grips it tighter and mutters, if only I was stronger, maybe I could have protected you. And then boom, we cut further back to when things weren't this lonely. Back when there were still people around. There's this town inside the tower. Yeah, an actual town on the 50th floor called Outpost. Turns out, after beating one of the big guardians, people built a safe zone there. Walkers come back injured, priests heal them, blacksmiths give free gear, people helping each other, like a tiny little civilization inside hell, and Jaehwan's just sitting at a table drinking from a mug, quiet, by himself. A blacksmith named Jay calls him out. Going to training again? Jaehwan just goes, yeah, I'll beat the tower this time. Like he says it every day. Jay laughs and keeps hammering away at some weapon, but then you realize something weird. The town's empty. Barely anyone left. Supplies is running out. No more minerals coming from lower floors. Jaehwan casually says, yeah, there's hardly anyone left in the tower now. I don't even know what year it is anymore. That line hits. Time basically stopped meaning anything. There have been so many tower impacts, but people stopped answering the tower's call, meaning there might not even be many humans left outside anymore. Jay asks him something strange. Have you noticed anything different about the tower lately? Jaehwan mentions this weird writing he saw. Something like a tower within a tower, a nightmare? Super cryptic, like the tower is hiding something bigger. Then he remembers an old lady from the potion shop disappearing. And here's the creepy rule. Inside the tower, people don't age. So if someone goes missing, there's only two options. They either reset or they went down the tower, which nobody ever does. And the way he says it feels like people are just quietly vanishing, like hope's running out. Then he randomly tells Jay, teach me blacksmithing. Jaehwan's just smiling like he's planning for the future, even though everyone else already gave up. And then suddenly, snap, we're back to the present. Snow everywhere, dragon roaring, and the beast says, no human has ever tried to clear the 99th floor alone. I admit it, you're remarkable. And then Jaehwan just chuckles, and he says, I can't believe the last compliment I get is from a monster. Bro hasn't heard praise from another human in years. That's actually kind of depressing. Then he looks at the dragon's armor. Oh, it's cracking. Then the dragon freezes, realizes Jaehwan's been slowly wearing it down this whole time. Even while running, even while hiding, man's been chipping away at a dragon for 10 years. That's insane. Then the dragon opens his mouth, energy building up, big glowing death beam charging, and instead of running, Jaehwan just grips his sword and jumps straight towards his face. Like, nah, we're ending this. That's where it cuts. Alright, we're back on the 99th floor. Still snow, still freezing. Still just Jaehwan and this giant dragon trying to kill him. And bro's getting cooked. Ice spikes exploding everywhere. Boom, boom, boom. He's dodging, sliding, getting slammed into walls. At one point, he's literally pinned down, surrounded by this sharp ice. Ice-like pillars like a cage, bleeding, can barely stand, and the dragon just slowly walks toward him. Stomp, 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 talking the whole time. Still not giving up? You can fight all you want, you'll still be alone. Everyone left you. Humans always run. And for a second, Jaehwan actually looked dazed, like it got to him. We see these faint images of his old teammates around him. Ghost-like memories, people who died, people who reset, people who disappeared. And the ice around him almost looks like it's swallowing him whole. Like the tower is trying to bury him with his past. Then suddenly, he just goes, "Man, you talk too much," and slashes everything. Ice shatters. Man literally cut his way out of depression. Then he charges straight at the dragon again. No fear, no strategy, just running at it. And while he's attacking, he's thinking something kind of funny. He's like, "Yeah, I started climbing later than everyone else, so I missed all the cool stuff. No hidden classes, no fancy magic, no fireballs, no broken skills. Other people got elemental powers and legendary abilities. Meanwhile, him, he just learned one thing, stabbing. That's it. He literally says that he decided to forget everything else and just stab. And bro means it. He says he stabbed enemies like 50 million times. 50 million, like who counts that? Man really grinding stabbing like it's a part-time job, and because he did it so much, it stopped being just a normal attack. It basically turned into a hidden skill. It's not actually a skill, which means no mana cost, no cooldown. He can spam it forever. So while everyone else needed flashy powers, Jaehwan just built pure muscle memory. Just stab. Stab, 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 stab. Over and over until it became broken. It's low-key hilarious, but also kinda insane. So now he's just rushing this dragon, poking holes in it like a sewing machine. Still though, the armor's thick. Even for him, it takes hundreds of hits just to scratch it, and the dragon charges up that giant mouth beam again. Huge glowing ball, death laser type stuff. And Jaehwan realizes it's too late to dodge. But right then, he sees it, that little glow, the same thing he noticed on the 98th floor, a weak spot. So instead of running, he dashes straight at the beam head on, and boom, lands a perfect strike. Actually damages it. Dragon roars, armor cracks more. Jaehwan's like, "I was hoping to take your head off." Man is talking crazy. Dragon gets pissed, fires the beam anyway. Jaehwan barely dodges, rolling through snow, coughing blood, and the dragon starts talking trash again, saying if he had teammates, maybe he'd stand a chance. Then it drops something weird. "You humans were deceived by the nightmare stone." Jaehwan freezes. He's questioning what a nightmare stone is. We've heard regression stone, return stone, but nightmare stone? That's new. But before he can ask more, boom, another attack. Jaehwan barely escapes and slams the 99th floor gate shut. Just collapses outside, alive, but barely. And now he's just sitting there thinking, what the hell is a nightmare stone? Cut 5 years later, literally 5 years. Bro stayed on this floor fighting that same dragon for 5 years, and suddenly, crash. The dragon gets slammed into the ground, destroyed. System messages start popping like crazy. Max level, max health, max strength, max agility. Title unlocked, Nightmare of the 99th floor. And Jaehwan's just standing there leaning on the dragon like it's another Tuesday. Man really farmed a dragon for half a decade. He asks one last time, what's a nightmare stone? Dragon, with his dim voice, you already know. You'll understand on the last floor. Then he dies. Classic cryptic villain answer. Then loot drops. The Frostworm's sword. Sounds cool, right? Except it looks like a dagger. Jaehwan's just staring at it like, this is a sword? Man can't catch a break. Then suddenly, a new gate appears. So Jaehwan finally reaches it. The last gate. Floor 100. A black liquid looking door. All creepy and quiet. No boss music, no monsters. Just silence. And he just goes, let's see what's in there. And walks in. No hesitation. Man's fearless at this point. The moment he steps through, everything goes weird. Instead of a battlefield, he sees outposts. The town. Like memories playing on a screen. And almost like security camera footage. Just the streets, the shops, the place where everyone used to live. And then a voice. Calm, almost cheerful. Ah, you came sooner than expected. Jaehwan instantly grabs his weapon and has his guard up. But the voice just laughs. Haha, relax. No need to be so tense. This system's kinda old, so it's annoying to use sometimes. System? What system? Then ding, a message pops up. You are the first person from world 294 to complete the tutorial game. Jaehwan freezes and he questions, tutorial? And right as that sinks in, he sees flashes of his teammates. Dead, decapitated, bodies everywhere. All those years, all those fights, all that suffering, and this thing's calling it a tutorial? That's crazy. Then the owner of the voice finally shows himself, and bro looks insane. It's like this black liquid monster, a lion-shaped face, has a suit on, dripping like tar. Straight demon vibes, but he's talking polite, like a businessman. Goodness, where are my manners? My name is Beast Rain. I'm the master of this tower, and congratulations, you're the first human to clear it alone. Man really congratulating him like it's a job interview. Jaehwan's just staring like what the hell are you? And Beast Rain snaps his finger, and the video starts playing. Jaehwan meeting his teammates for the first time, smiling, laughing, introducing himself. All those old memories, and it cuts to fights, deaths, Soyo dying, teammates screaming, Yunwan's last words, everything. Like someone's replaying his trauma on a big screen, and Beast Rain is just watching like it's a movie. Aw, such dear faces, so tragic. I almost cried. Bro is literally mocking Jaehwan. Then he says something even worse. I'll give you another chance. You can start over from the beginning with all your memories. So he's basically offering Jaehwan the same thing as the regression stone, a redo, a fresh start, like it's some kind of gift. And Jaehwan just quietly asks, so this wasn't the end? I thought climbing the tower would save the world. Beast Rain smiles, big and creepy smile. That was never the point. The tower saving humanity? Yeah, that was just a bait. Everything hits at once. The messages, the save the world promise, all of it was just to lure people in. The Jaehwan brings up the regression stone. We could go back though, right? Beast Rain just laughs, and he laughs hard. That wasn't a regression stone, it's a nightmare stone, and this is where it gets dark. Nobody ever went back in time, nobody reset. Those people, they didn't escape. They got trapped inside dreams. Fake worlds created by a dream demon, forever, meaning every teammate who went back didn't get a second chance. They got locked away, basically erased. Jaehwan just stands there silent. You can't even see his eyes, and the demon's like, humans really love running away, huh? You're obsessed with the past. Then the system pops up again. It asks, restart the game? Yes or no? Beast Rain's already smiling like he knows the answer. Make the rational choice and go back. Start over. And before he even finishes, ding, Jaehwan presses no. Instantly, no hesitation. Beast Rain actually looks shocked, like wait, what? Jaehwan just says, thanks to you, now I know the truth. I was already trapped in a dream, so now I'll just kill you and move on. Calm, cold, no anger, no screaming, just straight murder intent. Man really said, you're not the final boss, you're just in my way.